faces he hunted swiftly for Vic Gregg. But Gregg was not there. He surveyed the assembly twice, incredulous, for surely the tall man should be here. But when he was on the very point of turning on his heel and slinking down the hall to pursue his hunt in other quarters, the voice of the minister stopped, and the deep tone of Vic himself rolled through the room. It startled Barry like a voice out of the sky. He stared about, bewildered, and then as the minister shifted his position a little, he saw that it was Gregg who stood beside the girl in white. It was Gregg being married. And at the same moment the eyes of Vic lifted, wandered, fell upon the face which stood there framed in the dark of the doorway. Dan saw the flush die out, saw the narrow, single-purposed face of Gregg turn white, saw his eyes widen, and his own hand closed on his gun. Another instant. The minister turned his head, seemed to be waiting, and then Gregg spoke in answer. "I will." 1,000 pictures rushed through the mind of Barry, and he remembered first and last the wounded man on the gray horse who he had saved, and the long, hard ride carrying that limp body to the cabin in the mountains. The man would fight. By the motion of Gregg's hand, Dan knew that he had gone even to his wedding armed. He had only to show his own gun to bring on the crisis. And in the meantime the eyes of Vic held steadily upon him past the shoulder of the minister, without fear, desperately. In spite of himself, Dan's hand could not move his gun. In spite of himself, he looked to the confused, happy face of the girl, and he felt as he had felt when he set fire to his house up there in the hills. The wavering lasted only a moment longer. Then he turned and slipped noiselessly down the hall, and the seventh man who should have died for Grey Molly was still alive. End of chapter 40.